Now heading to boxing, the future of former world boxing champion Tyson Fury remains unclear as the British Boxing Board of Control has yet to receive a date for the resumption of his UK anti-doping hearing. Fury had hoped to return to boxing this year, but is still waiting for a final ruling from the UK AD on a suspended drug ban after the hearing was adjourned last month. This means his desire to face current champion Anthony Joshua would not be realized in the nearest future. Fury had not fought since he claimed 3 world titles with a point win over Vladimir Klitschko in 2015 and is unable to plan a comeback fight with the British Boxing Board and Control yet to be notified about when proceedings will continue. And now to the motorsports. Azerbaijan Grand Prix was filled with controversy as Sebastian Vettel clashed with Lewis Hamilton during the race, while several cars suffered engine problems and broke parts in one of the most trickiest circuits in the Formula One season. So Chinaka has more from the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Reactions are still trailing the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, with the most light on the Vettel.
I mean, strictly speaking, Crofty, it's causing a collision. The driver of car number 5 caused a collision.
What happened between you and Sebastian behind the safety car, with him alongside you, making contact? Ultimately, he got a penalty for dangerous driving. It still finished ahead of you. Are you happy with the decision? Are you happy with how that has been handled? And does that set a precedent going forward?
It definitely sets a precedent, I think, not only for... It sets a precedent within Formula One. I think it also does for all the young kids that are watching us Formula One drivers drive and conduct ourselves. They've seen today how a multiple 4-time world champion behaves, and I think hopefully that doesn't ripple into the younger categories. In terms of how things are penalised, how you can do something like that and then still finish 4th, I think it's, I don't know. I've not really thought too much about it since. I just tried as hard as I could to get back up, but obviously it's, not a great day.
What happened between you and Lewis behind the safety car?
Well, I think you saw.
Well, we saw first there was contact from behind. Do you feel that Lewis was driving too slowly?
Well, no, the leader dictates the pace, but we were exiting the corner, he was accelerating, and then he braked so much that I was braking as soon as I saw, but I couldn't stop in time and ran in the back of him. I think that was just not necessary. And then there was the moment in which you hit him from the side. Lewis says this is a dangerous precedent, not just for Formula One, but also for kids coming through the sport. Well, I think, Formula One is for grown-ups. I think, as I said, the maneuver before was not necessary, and obviously damaged my front wing, damaged also his rear, I think, a little bit. So I think that was just not the right way to do it, exiting the corner, accelerating and then braking.
The biggest and most F1 rivalry yet seemed to have set up nicely on Sunday when Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel accused one another of being out of order at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, which was surprisingly won by Red Bull's Daniel Ricciardo.
The victory was nice, and yeah, P10 we started, but we actually had an unscheduled pit stop, I think lap 5 or something, early, and the brakes were going crazy, and I think we had some debris, so the team's like, box, 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 you got to box this lap, and I was like, when you hear it like that, I was like, race is over, something's wrong, and anyway, that dropped us back to 17th, and then we won, so crazy.
Last place and a lap down at the end of the first lap to 2nd. Is this one of the most unexpected races you've ever had?
I think it is definitely. It was a crazy race, and for me, being 1 lap down, the team told me to just keep the head down, keep pushing, and so I did, and I didn't give up. I just kept going, and always trying to calculate risks and kept pushing, and especially in the end, once I got through Ocon, there was still a small possibility to get Lance, and just tried to do every single corner, every single lap perfectly, and got him as well in the end.
Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Unbelievable. Insane, right?
Lance, this is, as you said, insane. This is insane. From your first points to your first podium, has this sunk in? Does it feel real yet?
No, it doesn't. Just such a special day. Words can't really describe it. It was the race. I mean, it was probably the one of the greatest races in Formula 1 history. There was a red flag, there was carnage, but we just clean. You know, I think that was today. I just kept a cool head and stayed out of trouble, and took it to the end. So it was great.
It's a big shame, you know, and not only that, the way that everything turned out, and yeah, I think it was just over aggressive. I think in all my career I've had teammates that I fought really hard, but always with room, enough room, you know, to not to do what happened today. And I think what happened today is totally unacceptable for the team.
Happy with the performance and disappointing, you know, with the potential we had. Obviously it's never nice to get an incident like that in the race. I mean, me and Checo lose a lot of places. I had the recovery, you know, which was quite nice at the end, still to get some points for the team. But you know, we'll discuss it internally, see what happened. He touched me after turn 1, and then, you know, I was on the inside for turn 2, and we touched again. Unfortunately, it's raining and it happens sometimes, but you know, we'll see with more info what happened really.
He says that you gave him no room, says that you squeezed him against a wall, cost the team a potential win today.
That's what he said? Okay, well, if that's what he said, you know, I'm not going to comment, but you know, he touched me after turn 1, he went on me. I don't know if he saw me or not, but for sure we will discuss it and should not.
Lewis Hamilton says he has no intention of speaking to Sebastian Vettel over their collision in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and he branded Vettel's driving in Baku dangerous and disgusting after the Ferrari his Mercedes. But speaking later on Sunday night, Hamilton responded saying, "I've heard what he said after the race. Firstly, he doesn't have my number. I'm not going to do any talking, but only on the track. All I'm thinking is getting my head together and I feel the next 12 races and win this title championship sooner than." Had accused Hamilton of brake testing him when their cars were running behind the safety car during Sunday's chaotic and controversial Grand Prix, before arguing his penalty was too harsh. The Ferrari driver then told reporters, "I don't have a problem with Lewis. I respect him a lot for the other driver he is. I don't think this is the right time to talk. I will do just that with him in private. I'm willing to sort it out with him, but I don't think there is much to sort out. I will talk with him when you, the media, are not there, and I don't think this is a big problem." Hamilton's fierce denouncement of the championship leaders marks at the end of their friendly rivalry with the Hamilton-Vettel Brahmans now comes to an end, which until now had been the signature feature of the season, already a thing of the past. In other words, Mercedes' boss Vettel of being too aggressive on the track, and in his words, Vettel acts without thinking sometimes. Is it right to say we are in for the season of our lives? Well, we are here for it.
Definitely lots of interesting action went down in the Formula 1 yesterday. Continuing with that, Sebastian Vettel faced further punishment for his Azerbaijan Grand Prix collision with Lewis Hamilton after reports emerged that the title leader was close to being disqualified during the race. The four-time world champion appeared to have bumped into Hamilton during a safety car drive and swerved into the Mercedes car soon after, when the safety car had been removed. Reports in Germany had claimed Vettel's lead of the world championship and the reluctance of his stewards to interfere with the title battle may have been a factor in them only imposing a 10-second stop and go penalty. But Hamilton is insisting that the punishment was not severe enough and described Vettel's conduct as dangerous and disgraceful. The FIA has the right to punish Sebastian Vettel should they determine that the initial ruling was not sufficient. A North Korean sports official believes it is too late to consider South Korean President Moon Jae-in's proposal for a unified team for the 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang. He said this at the World Taekwondo Championships in Moon, and Moon had noted that he wanted the Koreas to compete as one team next year and highlighted the 1991 World Table Tennis Championships as an example of a previous merger. However, North Korean International Olympics Committee